What's up, guys? Quarter holder here. I'm in another spot. You can see all these block around me. There's an old home site here. I'm on the edge of the woods, on the edge of a major road. You might see some cars going by. So hopefully I'll find some good stuff, and if I do, I'll show it. Be back. I'm scanning around these large blocks here. And on top of the ground, I found another skull. This is a small little thing, whatever that is. It's tiny, it's the size of my hand. I don't know what this could be too. It's some sort of a canine, maybe a fox. Could be a pretty big cat. I don't know. I'm gonna go with fox. All right, I got a great sound here in the woods, guys. Listen to this one. So it's right about there. In the high 80s. I'm gonna dig it. Let me see if I can mount my camera. Hang on a second. All right, sorry if there's like a sunshade thing going on, but I can't help where the signals come. Right about there. Right about here. And again, as you saw, it was coming up in the 80s. Could be a coin. Oh, wow. Oh, can you guys see that? That is super shiny. I'm going to use my non-glove hand. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, let me see. Is this even the camera? Look at that. That looks like some sort of a pin. Oh, look on this side. Oh, it says carved. This is one of those shooting pins. You get this, I think they're military issued. I could be wrong when you enter like a shooting contest. Let me see. It's hinged. I don't want to break it. It's kind of rough. It's stuck. This does unhinge and it hangs down. And a lot of times these are, yeah, look on the back. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. It might be upside down. There it is. I think. It's sterling. It's even marked right there in the middle. This thing will fold down eventually. Look, it's starting to. There we go. Look, both of them are sterling. The bottom marker says sterling, and there's some numbers. And then this top part, I'm trying to block the sun. That also says sterling. Look at that. That is awesome. That's going to clean up great. I'll show that in the wrap up, guys. What a beauty. I was hoping for a coin. I'll totally take that. Super awesome. Oh, I can't wait to clean that up. All right, I got a super high tone here. It might not be good, but when you're in the woods and you get something up in the 80s, it's worth investigating. Right there. Let's see if I can get underneath of it. Well, it's not a coin, but it's a little shoe buckle. I said it was bouncing up pretty high, 70s, 80s. And my big coil never would have found it. I know I keep talking about it, but I got this little NEL snake coil on there. It's like the size of a bar of soap, and it can pick out these cool finds in between the nails. So hey, I'll take it. That's a nice find. Let's keep on rolling. Look at that. I think it's an old tobacco tin. I hit it with my shovel when I went in the ground, but only that little piece. It's an old tobacco tin. You can hear it's probably hollow inside. But I might try to open it later if I can. There could be some markings on it. You see the lid up here up top, you can see the seam. I found a lot of old tobacco tins before. Usually they're a rectangle shape. This is a round shape, kind of like this modern skull. Most of the things I find at this site date between like the 1910s and the 1940s. So it's going to be an old one, whatever it is. Oh, it's a shame I got a little chip of it there, but I'll clean it up. But that's a pretty cool little piece. Hockey puck size. So, all right, I'm going to see what else is in the hole. Like I said, I was getting more signals. So maybe something else is near it. This was an interesting sound. I was getting it 65 one direction, nothing the other direction. I thought, man, that's weird. I circled it. For the first time ever, you see this little razor, an old time razor, but for the first time ever, I got the whole razor. Now at home, I probably have about 5 of these old heads. I didn't know what they were at first. Someone had to explain to me how it worked, but this is the first time ever with the handle. I can actually feel it, like it's unthreading. It'll unthread. I'll unthread it later because I only got one hand. But first one ever with the handle. Well, I know this is garbage to 99% of you, but if you're out here digging and you find some things like this that, you know, you've constantly found these heads, that handle is like it's like a silver coin to me. Awesome. Super happy to have that with the handle. Maybe I'll even shave with it later. Zoot, zoot, zoot. I don't even know how it works. All right, let's keep rolling. Awesome. And I just found the normal tobacco tins that I normally find. Now this one's really far gone. It's all rusted out. I don't see any of the image on there. Sometimes I find them in pretty good shape. I'll put a picture over to the side of one I found last year. But this one's really far gone. But that round one I found was the first round one I ever found, assuming that that's a tobacco tin. It was much bigger than like a makeup compact, but this is what they look like, and they're really brittle. When you stick your shovel in the ground, a lot of times they fall right apart. But all right, let's keep on rolling. Here's a super cool find. I was digging down, I pulled this out, and I thought just from this appearance that it may have been lead. But as I gave it a couple of cleans, I saw on the back this line across the top, which looks like it was a pin. So I turned it over, and as I was cleaning it, I could see it's a deer head with these antlers sticking up, and there's a number at the bottom. It looks like 275 right there, and there's probably some words over here by my thumb. So that's pretty cool. I thought it was just melted lead slag, but it looks like it's going to be some sort of a pin with that buck moose or whatever the heck that is. Really cool. When I clean this up later, this might be something really special. So awesome find there. I'm glad I didn't just discard it and think it was melted lead. Awesome find there on this little buck moose deer pin thing. I don't know, but when I clean it up, I'll bet you it's awesome. So let's keep going, guys. It's got another buckle. Let's see if I can give it a little. There it is. Brass. And the little buckling part is iron. So it's not broken off, which is pretty impressive. Usually that breaks off. Nothing too fancy, but it's a buckle. All right, I got another good signal right by the base of this tree. You'll hear it here. Right there. I'm going to dig this one live too. Why not? This is a really good signal. Could be a coin. Let me mount the camera. Hang on. All right, I just mounted the camera. Here's my signal again. Straight about here. Like I said, it's hard to dig a good plug in the woods. I see it. I see it right here. I see it. It's a coin. I think it's going to be an Indian. Yep, there it is. I see it. I see the face. see the headdress. I can't really get it to focus too well. And I don't like to rub on the Indians. I like them. So let me clean this up. Hang on 1 second. All right, I cleaned it up enough in the woods with a little toothbrush. You can see it's an Indian, and you can see the date at the bottom. 1889. So awesome, right by that tree. It probably would have sank down 8 inches, but those big tree roots kept it up near the surface for me. Very cool find. Not a lot of coins today, but I'll totally put this one in the bag. You know, I often get asked, guys, how come you find so many harmonica reeds? And the answer is because just like a guitar string would break nowadays, and back then, a harmonica reed would break and you'd replace the entire reed. And it's rare you find the harmonica because that's an instrument. Well, today, for my first time ever, it's the entire harmonica. Now, it is really in bad shape. It's fallen apart in my hand. But if you can see, I got the harmonica shell. I got in the middle the reed plate. Here's the other reed plate that fell apart and the outside casing. I'll try to clean it up when I get home. I know it looks terrible. This piece didn't quite go like that. But it's the entire harmonica. Right there, there we go, like that. My first one ever. You can see the outside casing here, and they had 2 reeds, one here and one here. One was for blowing out, and then one was for when you drag and suck back in. They make 2 distinct sounds. So my first ever entire harmonica, although it really looks in terrible, terrible shape, but the 2 reeds are totally complete, so I'll at least clean them up later. Maybe even find a marking on the outside of it. So it might look like crud, but that's a really good find for me. Totally take it. There's a super teeny little garter clip. Unbelievable. I never would have heard that with my big coil. It is so small. Can you see it in my hand for scale? It is so tiny. Let me see if I can flip it over. Hold on. There, I flipped it over. Unbelievable. This little coil, I love it. The depth isn't great. I only get about 6-7 inches, but I don't feel like digging foot-long holes today anyway. So awesome little garter clip there. Totally add that to my collection. All right, I'm gonna turn back around. The majority of the sounds I was getting, all the signals were back that way, towards where there was that cellar pit. As I march back this way, I'm getting very few signals. Once in a while, a nail or something like that. But up there, man, I was getting a lot of signals, a lot of brass and copper relics, a couple of coins, not too many, but some interesting things. I'm gonna turn around, head back that way. It's probably only about maybe 70 yards or so. Swing back around there. I like to find stuff. I ain't find nothing here. All right, be back. This has got to be the 3rd or 4th hunt in a row. I got another horseshoe. Another one. Now this one might, ow, that hurt. This one might be from the game. You see how it's got those bulbous, that's a weird word, those bulbous little nubs on there. I'm in the thick, thick brush, really thick. Of course, I found the signal right in the middle of these vines, these pointy thorns. But it's a pretty cool find. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be the game. You can see the little nub up here where you would hold it. Room ringer. But hey, I'll take it. All right, I had another good one here, guys. Right there. I know it's hard to hear. A lot of nails and other signals in these woods. There we go. Let's see if we can come around and do it one-handed. One-handed, that's always fun. Oh, there it is. There it is. You see that? You see how slow you got to move that little coil? That's going to be a dime. All right, my other hand. That is a silver dime for sure. That's going to be a barber dime. There it is. Oh man, I caught that live. I can't believe it. I heard that little squeak in the midst. I'm sure if I look around, there's going to be some other, maybe little pieces of nail or something like that if you heard those grunts. But that's what it was. I'm going to clean it up. Hang on a second. All right, there it is after just a light brushing. 1907 barber dime. Awesome. Out of the ground into your eyes. Into my eyes too. Super happy with that. I'll look around if there's anything else. I'll recheck the hole, obviously. Put it in my bag. You don't want to lose something like that. But I don't think there's anything else. I'm not even hearing the iron now. They might be deeper. All right, I'll recheck the hole with the coil, and if not, I'm out of here. All right, here's my finds, guys. I'm going to try to fly through it. I always take so long to wrap up. I'm sorry. I got a little hinge. There's a lock to a window, I believe. Another old fuse. This is just a Heinz ketchup cap. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Looked like an old one. 2 tobacco tins, 1 circular one, and then this rectangular one that's in really bad shape. Unfortunately, it'll probably all go in the garbage. This door locking plate, the knob would go in there, obviously. It was an old skeleton key one, so that's always interesting. This is an old electrical outlet cover from a building, I guess. There was a school back there. I always find pieces of it. There's a little bracket, for hanging a shelf or something. That could be more modern. I got a couple of spoons. They're both Rogers and Company. This one's got a little bit of fancy on it. This one not so much, but this one is totally flat. It's almost like a paddle, but believe it or not, it's a spoon. That one could even be pewter, I'm not sure. 2 light bulbs, including this little bulbous guy. I don't know, it's a little fat little chunky one. Probably Christmas lights. I do find a lot of them in the woods. Not sure why. An old spark plug busted up. A bunch of shotgun shells and 22s and lead shot. I had more of it too. I just threw a pile of them up. I found a bunch of mason jars today. I think I found 6 of them. This is the only one that the porcelain wasn't broken out of. The horseshoe, which this one could have been a game horseshoe with this fat little nubs on there, and that's where you'd probably grab it up at the top, all rusted over. But I might do electrolysis on them. I always like the horseshoes. The harmonica, it was complete. This part kind of fell apart. Weird about this one is both the reed plates are iron. So this may have been like a kid's toy harmonica. Usually these reed plates are brass and they'll clean up really well. But these are iron, all rusted up. But it was a harmonica. That's a little gear. I don't know why I have that in there. The little snap button that had that little design on there. I don't know. One buckle still has the iron tine. I think it's called a tine. This one that I said was a shoe buckle is actually like a garter buckle, like a little garter latch. And there's a clip to the old garter. Whatever, you get the point. The razor, which I think is awesome with the handle on there. It's seen better days, but I mean, it's the first one I've ever gotten with the handle, so really happy with that. The coins, I got 1 Jefferson nickel. I think it was a 39, which was an old one. I got 5 wheat pennies, nothing special. I think the oldest one was from the 30s. I got the Indian head penny, which was 1889, I believe. Yep, 1889. And then the barber dime, 1907. And when I cleaned it, I believe there was a mint mark on the bottom. That's awesome. What is that? Is that an S? Oh, it's a D. But barber dime. The Elk Lodge Pin, which is really cool. It says Elks Association, New Jersey South, 278, which I guess was the lodge number. And then something over there. I can't quite make that out. Unity something or other. It was a pin. You can see on the back where the pin broke off. Super cool. I couldn't find any information about that particular lodge number. But that was a really good find. Like I said, it looked like it was just lead slag in the ground. So I'm really glad I didn't just kind of discard it. And then maybe the coolest find of the day is this Carbine Shooting Pin. On the back, you can see that the actual carbine is sterling. The top piece has that marking on there, and then that's also marked sterling. So really cool find there, super happy with that. And then for some weird reason, I don't know why, I brought home the skull. There he is. I bleached them all up. You put him in an 8% peroxide bath. I glued them all together. You can see he's a little cockeyed with his, got like a little bit of an overbite now. Whatever teeth I could find, I glued back in. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Is it morbid? I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. Hunters keep skulls all the time. It's the first one I ever brought home. I just wanted to kind of put him back together. Not sure what I'm going to do with him, but there he is. I think it's a fox. I don't know. Who knows what the heck it is. And those are my finds, guys. You know, on the walk back to the car, I also found this cute little rock. You know, these rocks those kids paint. I've seen guys find them in the parks and whatnot. It's the first one I've ever found. So good job there, Benji. I'm going to put this on your Facebook page, man. I get a lot of questions on what do you do with all the stuff you find, all the garbage, and I get rid of it. I don't keep it all. I keep a few cool pieces, but when I dig it out of the ground, if it makes me smile, it warrants a spot on the wrap-up table. It's my channel. I can do that. But hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.